Well, it's JD. Welcome back to the Vuca Leadership Lab. This is video 4 of our series, and I'm going to go through the 2 final Vuca leadership skills, but I'm going to add an extra. And so we've covered a lot so far. We've covered 6 Vuca leadership skills, which I'll summarize at the end. But I'd like to go into another one right now, and that is rapid cycle prototyping. And so rapid cycle prototyping is a term that was, I think, coined by Otto Scharmer in his work, The Theory U. And what Otto describes is that when we have a potential idea and we've crystallized an intention, a solution that we think would add value, and so we need to start rapid cycling that into the change, meaning we have to see if it works, if it doesn't work, and that means we have to simulate it as closely as possible to the original idea. As close as we can get to the actual, the better. And that means we set up kind of feedback mechanisms where we can go out and probe and sense and analyze, but we have to move something in the system to see what's working, what's not working. So we take our idea out there and we use kind of our sensing journey, which is to go out and sense where other people are in reference to what we're trying to do, and then we begin to make fast feedback adjustments to bring this into what we need to do, what's possible, what's called realization. So this prototyping means we ask questions as we're going through the process of putting the new change into a possibility. And that is it going to work for the masses? Is it something that will go to scale? Can we go to scale with it? Can we expand it? Is it something that's sustainable? Is it something that has the ability for it to get legs? Will it work? Is it sustainable in what we're talking about? Is it responsible? Is it something that is focused on everybody winning? Is it something that is self-interested, or is it something that everybody can win with? Does it really serve where it needs to serve? And is it something that can make a positive impact? And I think lastly is, does it really connect with who you are and what you're trying to do in the world? And connect with a great sense of purpose in your leadership? Is that right now we have fantastic opportunities to serve, to be able to take meaningful acts, to go into those uncertain places, take those meaningful leaps, provoke new quests, see new innovations happen. And you have to kind of cast it out there and take these prototypes out there with a lot of courage and be able to commit yourself to seeing what happens so we can get the snowball rolling and going. But the point is that you're making the effort. And I love this because you're creating separate from what you know. Prototyping doesn't mean that you finalized everything. It's like when Windows came out first, they used the first Windows 95 as a prototype, and then they made money on the versions. But the actual was very similar to the perfected version, but they started at where it is. I think Linksys has a program called 0.8, which means they put the change in sometimes at 0.6 or 0.8. They use their technological breakthroughs to put them in at that level. They aren't 0.1, they aren't 100%. But they are at a certain level in which they can get that kind of market feedback, community feedback, to justify continuing on that path. Collective presencing. Collective presencing is this number 8 skill, and it means that we do not go about creating solutions alone. When these problems show up and we have a current reality that is unsolvable by frameworks of the past, it's best to pull together a collective group to be present and to kind of socially design in a small setting where we can start to figure things out together. Rugged individualism is a plague that limits our capacity for innovation. It's really through our interrelating and our dialogue that we are able to come upon insights when we literally can be wrong with a group of people, and we're able to come into a collective way of knowing by using questions and inquiry and different vantage points. So it's really a moment of collective work, of pulling together the right constituents and being able to ask the right questions. That means together we have to suspend our judgment and not look at the things right now from the past. We have to look through the lens of our hearts and be able to accept others as legitimate others, and that their way of knowing is via respect. We can respect them for where they are. And the third one is that we suspend our fear. We let go so we can let something come that's new. And this is an edge, so we can get to an edge and cross a threshold and get to a place where we can crystallize something new that awaits our gaze. It's a transformation. It's a social transformation. It is transcendental in the sense that ourselves are transcended in the social framework. And it is like a field in which we place ourselves into the field of possibilities with others, almost as if, like a jazz trio, was playing and the collective stream is moving life through the group. I think this is such a neat opportunity. The last one is, I think, an extra credit. So let me talk to you about this last one. And I'm going to quickly look at my notes here. Oh, yes. I had to add this one. And this was one that came out of Bob Johansson's work, which I thought was extraordinary. Voluntary fear engagement. Voluntary fear engagement. Gaming online has become an interesting space for preparing leaders for great work. Because they can simulate worlds online that aren't real worlds, it allows them to take risks that they normally wouldn't take. And so prototyping may be a certain quality of this, but setting up simulation environments where we can actually practice in low-risk environments is the idea. And so setting up those kind of simulations with voluntary fear engagement is excellent because it gets us ready for the playing field in actual situations. So there you go. There are the 8 essential leadership skills from emotional tension override, embodied listening, fanatic discipline. Then we went into productive paranoia. And then we went into dilemma flipping, empirical creativity, rapid cycle prototyping, voluntary fear engagement, collective presencing. Today, we are in an unprecedented moment that is asking for greatness. We have to let go of our certainties. We have to live into the present moment as if everything that's going to happen we will not know until we take the path and know it by walking. This is a moment of great willingness, faith. It is a moment of courage for us to step into something that isn't quite predictable. And that is the essence of great leadership. And that is what I'm asking of you. And I hope that you are the innovator, that 5% that I'm summoning and asking for, because I need you, and we need you. And we need you to think this way, to be helpful, to be useful, to step up, and to act on behalf of humanity. It is in you. It is latent. You just need to listen and show up and show up. Thank you.